Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Valoxx, Gradius, Enrix, and me here on Twilight Fortress. Now, some of you guys may be able to recognize all of these names here if you guys watch my games regularly. Valoxx is one of the people who recently got into the beta, so he's probably the least experienced out of the whole entire group. Enrix is one of my common 2v2 partners. Gradius is the content staff leader from the StarCraft Legacy website. If you haven't checked out SC Legacy, go ahead and check out their website. Finally, there is me playing as the Protoss player. So here we have Twilight Fortress. You and your partner spawn very, very close to each other. And you also have a very, very easily to access natural expansion just right outside your base. So this map is mirrored. It is very, very balanced. Gradius now moving out with that single overlord as Enrix now trying to be able to build the single supply depot in this position and start doing a wall in. Now, whenever I see a particular matchup in this, like this, and I see Zerg and Protoss, I generally try to think of what strategy or what units I'm going to be most likely to see, and what unit will probably be able to counter them the best. So I quickly decide upon trying to produce Colossi. I want to produce Colossi, or no, see, multiple Colossus. So I'm trying to produce Colossi in order to be able to just effectively use that splash damage. The splash damage, in addition to its range, makes it very, very effective. The upgraded range of 9 is really, really strong. Secondly, I want to be able to produce a unit that will also be complementary to my Colossi. So I'm going to be going ahead and producing Stalkers. Stalkers are very, very strong units as well. High amount of hit points and also able to hit air. Not very effective against light air such as Mutalisks or Banshees, but still enough of a deterrent so that those Mutalisks cannot really swarm my Colossi that easily. Finally, I'm going to be asking Enrix to try to also produce some Viking support for me, as I'm really more concerned about perhaps Corruptors, those strong air-to-air units, and as Void Rays really are not that big of an issue, as I'm able to just really focus them down with those Stalkers, as they are in fact armored units, and also Phoenixes are not very powerful against Stalkers or Colossi either. Coming back over here, we have Valoxx now getting... Wow, why is my computer just running this poorly right now? I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. I think it was because I still had Internet Explorer open, and that was causing some issues and some lag. So I need to remember, turn off everything else whenever I'm doing a shoutcast. So I now only have my video recording software and also StarCraft 2 obviously open. Now looking over here, Enrix pinging my unit, telling me to move my single Zealot, as my Zealot was blocking the barracks from being placed into position. We have a single Marauder in here. I am going a single gateway to a Cybernetics core, eventually to a warp gate, or sorry, a robotics facility, then to a robotics support bay. Zergling's now trying to move out. I tell my partner that, hey, ally control is on, so you will be able to push back out. Valoxx now moving out with a couple Zerglings from Gradius as well. So those units are now moving out. Gradius, on the other hand, already upgrading the hatchery. If I did have an orbital scan, I would be able to scan this and realize that by upgrading that quick hatchery, he is in fact most likely trying to go either Hydralisk or Mutalisk. Due to the placement of this map, I think he's going to be trying to go Mutalisk, if I do in fact remember this game correctly, but Mutalisk seemed to be the better choice. Zergling's getting stuck up over here. One Zergling getting taken down, or 3 Zerglings total getting taken down. So take a look at this, yeah. Getting a couple kills, so 3 Zerglings taken down, 1 Zergling able to just try to run back and perhaps activate some of those Zelnaga watchtowers in order to get some additional sight around the map. Gradius now also getting a hatchery over here at his natural expansion, trying to mine out as quickly as possible, most likely to try to get that gas. That gas very, very important, as Mutalisks are in fact very gas heavy. Here I am going ahead warping in a Nexus. This Nexus will in fact be able to set up my natural expansion as well. Not too much to really say about that. Coming back over here, we see Valoxx has a double gateway and a single forge. Forge used in order to perhaps get some weapon upgrades and also build some early cannons as a little bit of a wall-in procedure in order to be able to push back any of those attacks. Finally getting that cybernetics core. So cybernetics core definitely late, as I'm already warping in my robotics spay. So my Colossi are definitely going to be much stronger. Now warping in a Forge, as I want my Forge in order to be able to upgrade the weapons attack. Also getting some additional gateways as well. Those additional gateways will be transferred into warp gates, so I will be able to deploy my Stalkers or Zealots or perhaps even DTs and Dark Templars anywhere along the map. Also the Sentries, of course. Taking a look over here, I do finally get this support bay up, or robotics facility up, and I'm going to use that chrono boost in order to speed the building of that one particular Colossus. The Colossus normally taking 75 units of time to build, but with that speed production, I believe it takes 42, 43, if I'm doing my math correctly. What, 50% production? No, it's actually 50. So it takes 25 units of time off if I consistently use that ability in order to try to warp in order to try to speed up that production. Also trying to get the upgrade on the range attack, so getting some additional Colossi as well. Taking a look over here, also we're going to be trying to get some additional gas. Gradius already saturating or already mining out of this particular expansion as well. Valoxx, on the other hand, taking a look at the army's overlay. Valoxx sitting at 32, Gradius sitting at 35. Enrix and I are both sitting in the low 40s. Gonna go and turn off that overlay so it doesn't lag the game any further. Gateway now being warped in. So what, we have 5 gateways, and that's most likely going to be used to turn into a warp gate. I accidentally say get Vikings for me and Crota, and that's actually to all. So that actually messes me up a little bit as as Valoxx smiles and Gradius says will do, and I'm like, oh, a little bit of a mistake there. Oops. Coming back over here, I have triple warp gates. We'll be able to warp in some additional Stalkers if I choose to, and also getting that Forge weapons upgrade. I do have a couple Chrono Boosts to use. Chrono Boost is one of those abilities that you want to use even in the late game. It really speeds up your production of Immortals, Colossi. It really takes down a lot of that time that... it really takes down a lot of that time in terms of that Forge upgrade. So what it essentially does is it gives you additional 10 units of time for every 20 seconds, or yeah, 50. It takes down 10 units of time if from the beginning to the end if you're trying to build something. Secondary Colossi now going to be brought into position. So I have single Colossus sitting out here, a second one now already being produced, and now want to warp in a third as soon as I can. But unbeknownst to me, Gradius already moving in with a flock of Mutalisks. Those Mutalisks going to start focusing down these particular units, and going to go ahead and just start to delay that building. Mutalisks going to be able to just fly around and then just be able to harass my probes. Stalker's now trying to warp in. I'm going to go ahead and try to focus down those particular units, able to transfer all of my probes here. So pretty much transferring all of my probes from my main base to my expansion so that he does not have as easy access to those particular units. Coming back over here, you can see that I'm already beyond fully saturated at my natural expansion, but those Mutalisks are now just trying to run back away. Those Mutalisks, only 5 or 6 of them are afraid of these Stalkers, as the Stalkers are going to be able to focus them down just a little bit. Wow, this is a really... I don't know why this game's lagging so bad today. Mutalisks now trying to run back around, and the Stalker's going to be able to start focusing down some more of these units. A couple low hit point Stalkers are... Sorry, a couple low hit point Mutalisks already. Those Mutalisks not wanting to come back up into this high realm, as they know that those Stalkers will be able to just come in and quickly focus them down. So a lot of probes down in this position. Taking a look. Still producing more probes. I'm going to start transferring some probes over back to that north-hand side once again, and the Colossus finally has that long-distance range attack. So 23 or 25 times 2 is its attack with that level 1 upgrade. So it's in fact going to be dealing a lot of damage, 50 damage per swipe, effectively being able to deal as much damage towards any unit as a Colossus without but with no additional damage bonus, but also having some splash damage. Mutalisks now still sitting in the air. I hear a couple units being attacked, and I'm going to go ahead and take this time. Actually, no, not quite yet. I need to buy off as much time as I can. I don't know why Valoxx just shot down his own gateway. Oh, she shot down his own gateway in order to produce that Nexus. That Nexus was... that gateway was blocking his natural Nexus, so he was unable to mine from that position. I'm going to go ahead and try to let this game run a little bit long. as now we have some stalkers standing out over here. Also, we have some Hydralisks and some... sheesh. Gosh. Things just not going my way today. Alright. Coming back over here. Hydralisk and Mutalisk just up in the... Mutalisk up in the air, Hydralisk on the ground, and a single drone now trying to move out in order to try to establish an additional expansion. Hydralisk once again regathering up into this position, trying to gather more and more units. Hydralisk with a base damage of 12 and a range of 6, so Gradius is doing a good job of trying to mass up these Zerg units. Hatchery, single queen sitting over here, and a queen sitting, I believe, over here. Yeah, queen sitting on both sides, also at the infestor pit, so if he wants, he can go, actually going to morph into that hive tech in just a little bit. Mutalisk once again going to go ahead and try to move back out, try to take down some more units. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay here on Twilight Fortress.